Hello, everyone, back to the Crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today we're back with another banger PulseChain video, giving you guys the latest and greatest of crypto news. And I wanted to make this quick video to address the current state of the crypto market, to talk about Bitcoin being down 2.6%, Ethereum down 3.8%, Solana down 7.3%. Does it even look like we're going to have a bull run? Does it even look like this altcoin season that I'm dreaming about is even going to happen? What if Bitcoin really did top at $126,000? I am crazy for believing in an altcoin season. I'm delusional. We're going to talk more about this in this video. Bitcoin at $103,000, Ethereum at $3,400. We are in the fear and greed index. The total crypto market cap is at 3.47 trillion, down 2.7%. Clearly, we are not in the altcoin season, but that doesn't even matter, really, because we've seen that in the high 80s. But altcoins wasn't performing as much. Something is wrong. Let's talk about this. I want to start by saying a reminder to everyone that being in crypto, volatility is a feature, not a bug. Hear me out, okay? Because during times like these where it's high volatility, these are the times where we're going to continue, the price is going to continue to climb the wall of worry. Hear me out. We've just closed the weekly candle above the 50 weekly moving average. Every single time we went so close to the 50 weekly moving average, we did a V-shape reversal. I've covered the bullish macroeconomic news in the previous video. Go watch it. So don't change your sentiments from day-to-day basis because you're looking at the market in a very short time frame. This is noise, guys. This is noise. Come tomorrow, it's going to be up 2%. Come after tomorrow, it's going to be down 1%. You're going to wreck yourself like that. Spend time doing something else. It can still be crypto related. Learn to, build. Write some posts. Talk about the future value proposition of crypto, not today's price. Price is not equal to value. Volatility is the price that we pay for holding the best crypto assets. 9 times out of 10, at least in my experience, the bags that felt terrible to hold ended up yielding the greatest amount of gains. Of course, you have to do your own research, make up your own thesis. For example, I'm here positioning myself in PulseChain, layer 1 fork solution of Ethereum, hottest layer 1 chain that you haven't heard of. Why? Because it's going through its first cycle. Unlike Solana, second cycle. Unlike Ethereum, third cycle. Guys, it's going to be exciting the next few weeks. 2025, it's not over. 2026, even crazier. I've mentioned the PMI chart. How we went from a sine wave cycle to a cosine wave cycle. We're still in the contracting of the manufacturing industry in the US. Guys, we're still not even above 50. The new latest PMI monthly chart pushed us down 0.8%. We're nowhere near our fullest potential. You gotta be patient. Have time play on your side. Okay, and in the meantime, have a healthy relationship with your portfolio. Don't overexpose yourself. Don't overexpose yourself to a single token, to a single ecosystem. Okay? And continue learning. Be busy with something else. I also wanted to talk about this. Okay? Because we have very bullish macroeconomic news. Like I'm here talking about, for example, there's this tweet, this one right here. Just in, from the Oval Office, President Trump confirms that he will be rolling out $2,000 tariff dividends checks to low and middle income Americans. We're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. Trillions of dollars have been taken in terms of investment from the tariffs, right? We have really great news from this. Great news from the Federal Reserve saying that they're going to freeze the balance sheet in 1st of December. That's officially saying the quantitative tightening is coming to an end. That started from 2022 when the interest rates went back up high. But people somehow, it was effectively priced in. Remember, guys, most of the times things are already priced in. But all I'm trying to say here, that we have so much more room for growth. We have so much different catalysts. Like, yes, things like this, the US M2 money, giving us a clear indicator that the bull run is still ongoing. We're still growing in terms of global liquidity. That's all that matters. We've seen the rate cuts. That will help a lot because this is the issue. The economy, guys. We've seen rate cuts and that's really great, right? But there's still a weakening labor market in the US. There's still low consumer confidence. Apparently, it's the same consumer confidence back from the financial crisis. The housing market isn't doing good. New GDP for the US in 2025 is at 0%, guys. The GDP growth is 0%. And the housing market, that's deviating away. The new builds is deviating away from the S&P 500 when it was usually like a very close correlation. We're talking like 1+1 correlation. So the solution is effectively, we need more rate cuts. This is bullish for everyone. It's going to incentivize people to borrow money, to invest, to take on risks. It's going to stimulate the economy in terms of domestic services for the US. It's great. It's going to be great for everyone. But of course, at the same time, there's other fears. It's going to fuel the already, kind of concerning AI bubble. Anyways, that's something more to talk about. But guys, risk appetite. We've even covered in the previous video how Bitcoin social media interest was at its lows. Even when Bitcoin was at 126,000, its all-time high was at its lows. 2 out of the last 2 times when Bitcoin topped, guess what? The social media interest was also topping. So come on. You know what I mean? Pattern recognition. The next best thing to having a crystal ball is to look at the patterns. The trend is your friend. It is super easy to realize that the macro trend is bullish. Okay, don't be short-term price oriented. So moving on, big shout out to Max Richard Hart. Max Millis says, Hex PulseChain with a quote from Jeff Bezos. Says, you can't be grinding for 4 years, you can be grinding for 4 years with no results, and in the 5th year, become the biggest thing on the planet. The power of not giving up is real. I spoke about this in the previous video, right? The whole thing with the 90 rule in the stock market, where 90% of people lose 90% of their funds in 90 days because simply they quit. And of course, they don't know. They're rushing into things, right? But at the same time, it's because they quit after their first loss. And that is it. So you got to be prepared, guys. One of the most underrated skills in crypto and trading in general and investing in general is to adapt. Because as I already said, it's super easy to predict the macro trend, right? I know the price is going to go up, but it's very hard to predict the time frame. We're going to have to keep shifting it around. I'm going to have to try to stay solvent until that happens, until the inevitable happens. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. Do you realize? So I also want to share this with you guys, the crypto total crypto market cap. Okay, we're talking barely past all-time high from the previous cycle. How come are you telling me that we're only going to break 50% from the previous all-time high and that is it? That's the top? No. That is not how it works, my friend. So using Fibonacci extension, really powerful tool. We look at the previous bands that we hit, which was the 3.61 level and the 2.61 level. We try to repeat that using the pattern recognition. Where would that take us hypothetically in this cycle? It could be anywhere from, again, the 3.6, which is 10 trillion total crypto market, to the lower bound, which is 7 trillion. That is my upper/lower bound of my top territory. We're nowhere near that yet. And then, yes, I put these two circles here, showing that we might have two peaks. One could be all the way till April. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to see any prices going up, because look at this tracing. The price will continue to rally up until April, where it tops, and then we're going to see a correction that everyone's going to mistake that as, oh, that's the bear market. But then actually continues this macro trend with higher highs, and people are going to come back paying more expensive costs. And that's where they're going to actually get caught off holding the hot potato. And then they're going to be like, oh, no, we're going to continue going higher. And then they realize after it's down minus 60%, oh, I've just confirmed that we have entered the bear market. So be careful, guys. Don't try to trade, invest. Not financial advice. So yeah. Moving on. What's bullish for PulseChain? From RocketX, the Mega Dex swap any token. It has around 42,000 followers saying, should we integrate PulseChain for instant cross-chain swaps? And another tweet from Super Hex Win says, Ramp now promoting Hex on PulseChain. Guys, we're seeing a shift of people's sentiment towards PulseChain, and this feels really great. You know, like if you are new, and I've been getting a lot of people like reaching out who are new to PulseChain, welcome, man. Like these are the best prices. Look at PulseChain right now. Like it is down from its all-time low. Look at this. You're only late by 92% from its all-time low. From Pulse at 34% from its all-time low, and we've been live for 2 years plus. And you're only late by a 0.3x from its all-time low. You're getting the cheapest prices. Even the people who sacrificed from day one didn't get these free prices, these cheap prices. INC at $1. The cheapest I remember seeing it was around 30 cents, guys. 30 cents. Hex, under 1 cent. Crazy. And of course, there's eHex. Look at this. This is the Core 7, one of my favorites. You got PDAI, again, 500x to $1. The closest we were was a 30x. So this is a really nice retracement. PWTC, $359. The all-time high was around 2,600. This is a crazy narrative as well. Crazy narrative. eHex, of course, you guys already know the legacy, the classic hex that lives on Ethereum. You can still technically buy it on PulseChain using the correct contract. You can just get it from GoPulse or this one, pulsecoinlist.com. You can see here the price. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful opportunity. Everything's cheap everywhere. Look at this from Crypto Coffee. Shout out to him. Says, could it be DeFi season? Hex, trustless yield, PulseX, virtual DEX ownership, Pulse, fee burning, because it's deflationary, cheaper, faster Ethereum, 17% quicker, 10% 10-second block time speeds. Another tweet from Aman Crypto Coffee says, it's good to imagine every possible scenario, even bad ones, and assess the actual risk versus what's imagined. So yeah, he's talking about the risk to reward ratio, and he's also talking about having a probabilistic mindset, which I tell everyone to have. Okay, you're entering the world of crypto, guys. There's no guarantees. At the end of the day, there is no guarantees. So have a healthy relationship with your portfolio. Only invest with the risk capital. Money you're willing to set and forget. Money you're willing to, guys, there is a possibility. Like you have to accept that there's a possibility that you could lose that money. And have time be on your side. Don't borrow other people's money. further shakeout and perhaps more to pump things with with more things to pump with as happened in 2024. You're still alive, and you always have a choice when it comes to farming. I was talking about PulseX farming, I believe. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I'm actually going to leave this for another video because I do want to sleep. It is past midnight. From a recent tweet from Richard Hart says, I remember someone shared an investing tip once in a chat room. Which chat room is he talking about? We're going to talk about this theory in a second. And they said, you know what my secret is? I just never sell at a loss. I very often think about that. And then he replied and said, I think some people call this zero to hero. And now this is the theory which I'm going to end it on the video here with. From Dirty Crypto says, PulseChain. Is Richard Hart paying attention to the PDAI chat exactly 10 minutes after the zero to hero post he makes his own? Things get even more interesting. Let's check if zero or hero was mentioned in any of the other Telegram group chats prior to Richard Hart's post. Guess how many times in the Hex chat? 0. Guess how many times in the PulseChain chat? 0. Guess how many times in the PulseX chat? 0. Guess how many times in the PDAI chat? 83. I'm not even mentioning that the story of Hero's journey has been pinned on 9iron's profile forever. You know what? Maybe Crypto Coffee is right about us. He said, remember guys, it's only the real Richard Hart tweeting when it says things that align with your imagined reality. When he tweets things that you don't like, it's psyop or conspiracy. Richard Hart posts today include Aave, $1, PSM, Hero, probably nothing. So, again, showing a screenshot of the PDAI group chat where someone said zero or hero and referring that to the Richard Hart tweet that we just talked about. And that was 10 minutes later after this message was sent. Absolutely crazy. So let me know what you guys think. Guys, this is the current state of the crypto market, okay? Listen, if you're not making money, at least you're being entertained. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And remember, big shout out to the man above. Trust in the process. Trust in God. Comment down below. Share this video with crypto bros, crypto friends. Okay. I'm going to actually open up my private Telegram group chat for 10 people only so that you guys can join, because I know how it feels to be alone. Sometimes there's self-doubt can get to you. So we are stronger together. So come join the group chat. I'm there like 20 times a day. It's the only group chat I go to on Telegram. And I appreciate you guys for all the support, for all the love. Thank you very much for the YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel, who want me to continue doing these videos. It's been my utmost pleasure. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.